So before we kind of dive into some of these other questions, do you mind just kind of, talking us, about that cast of characters before we kind of
Sure,
dive further?
absolutely. So the first thing, originally, I did not have any narration for this first issue. And the only reason I did is because many people felt they had their guard up towards Chasgo. So I decided to have Chasgo write to someone only known as Annette, just to give a little bit more, for lack of better wording, humanity. There was less unnecessary mystique, and people tend to like him narrating that first issue through this letter. And starting with Chasgo, Chasgo is a blue-skinned elf. His people live in a mountain range that is predominantly riddled with silver deposits. And humans in real life, if they ingest enough silver for a long enough time, it actually tattoos their skin blue. You can see if you YouTube Oprah interviewed, I forget the guy's name, but
Yeah,
it looks fake. Like
right.
it looks like Papa Smurf
Forgot
essentially.
about that.
But Chasgo's people, his specific group of elves, they have a similar byproduct, but also because it's fantasy, they have a high resistance to magic. Their people are considered xenophobic. They want nothing to do with outsiders. So that's a very dangerous territory to tread on rather. So mercenaries, spellcasters, veterans, mercs, soldiers, they all kind of steer clear of that mountain range. If there's another route and if it takes longer, they would prefer the safer, longer route. Chasgo feels his people are a tad dysfunctional, so he does not. Um, he long story short, if he wants to leave his people, who's going to take him in? They'd kill him on sight, essentially. So one time he was visited by this being he writes to in the first issue named Annette through a chess piece that he finds, a rook. And she gives him a means of leaving his people. She gives him some magical gifts through this chess piece, which he fashions into a necklace. One of the big benefits, obviously, which he relies on a lot, is he can disguise his appearance. So he's adopted this human persona, and he has become a representative of the local noble in their hometown, Ivywood, dancing very close to danger. It's not really revealed what this guy's endgame is doing this kind of thing. In turn, some people feel, I don't think this guy's on the level, which is very understandable based off of the little information that I've just given. But he also has his own little pet. It's a three-eyed albino crow, which he summons from a different plane. One of my favorite scenes between all of the talent that portrayed it, from letterer to inker and penciler to colorist, is, I believe it's page 6 of issue 2, where it shows Chasgo concentrating and he's seeing through the eyes of his pet. And he's getting a layout of the land of this established hideout of these bandits. And it's basically like a modern or a fantasy equivalent of a drone in a way.
Very
But
Beastmaster. I liked it.
yes, very much. And Chasgo, because of all of the dynamics I listed off, he's a very careful and reserved individual. Even at one point at the start of issue 2, as all 4 of them are interrogating a couple of bandits, Chasgo threatens one with the drug in question, known as Weave, and narrating in the second issue is the dwarf Sarlacc, who he says, I trust Chasgo, the other 2 not so much, but Chasgo is exceptionally careful. And Chasgo seems to be like an underdog favorite. People really like him because there's a lot of layers there that are not explained. So there's a lot to explore with for a writer. And he turned out, I'm just like the rest of them. I'm really happy with how his character has turned out,
Yeah.
from visual and everything else. He is a textbook case of not judging a book by its cover, that's for sure.